This is the Midwestern Whisper. This is Whisper 63. I haven't got any video responses yet to my two-part survey. A few people said they were going to, but it hasn't happened yet, so when and if I get any responses, then I will put the last part up. Excuse me. Kind of down in the dumps today. A few different things, really, and I hope I don't depress anyone too much, but it's kind of the way I'm feeling right now. We'll start out with more minor. I'm probably going to have to quit drinking because my liver numbers are still elevated, which that shouldn't be that big of a deal. I mean, it's not like I'm totally addicted. I only drink once a week or thereabouts, and I do like to do it, but my health is not worth it. I guess it's just the idea that this is something that I like to do that I can't do. Sort of like somebody that really enjoyed doing a hobby, say like painting, and somebody suddenly took away their paintbrush and their easel. That makes me think of that movie Clint Eastwood did in the late 70s, Escape from Alcatraz or whatever it was called. The guy ended up cutting off his hands because they took away his paintings supplies. Well, then the next thing is, it wasn't my hometown, but it was close. Had a tornado. I think it was a fairly minor tornado because I don't think anyone got hurt, but it was on the news today, and it showed a building that had been spread across the highway. I'm sick and tired of hearing about tornadoes and death and destruction. It just hits too close to home when you live in the Midwest. Fortunately, nobody was hurt on this one, but it was only 20 miles from here, so that's scary. And we're looking at more severe weather tonight and possibly the next day as well. But probably the most serious thing that's depressing me, somebody I knew killed themselves. I didn't know him well. He was a friend of a friend. But the guy was only 25 years old. And everybody on Facebook is leaving the rest in peace thing they do when people die on Facebook, but no one seems to know exactly what happened. I know that he was found in his apartment, so it wasn't a car accident or a motorcycle accident. But the real clincher is that not too long ago I went back through the pages of Facebook. 2 days before his death, he put his relationship status back to single, and he was supposed to be getting married in October. So I think that, the very last message he left on the day that he died was that he's sorry about it and that it wasn't his idea. So it really leads us to believe that he probably killed himself over a shock that his fiancée didn't want to be with him. And we don't know 100% on that yet because we're not getting every detail yet, but most likely with that and the fact that he was found at home dead. But, yeah, well, whenever somebody dies, it always leaves me depressed. Not to quote City Slickers, but I basically switch places with the person, or feel like my number's up next. And then after a short while, then I, get over it, I guess, after the shock of a death dulls a little bit. A couple years ago, somebody I went to school with died in an accident, and we weren't really friends, but I knew him well. I knew his family, and that hit me pretty hard. He had young boys at home, but several people on my mother's side have died pretty young, and yeah, it just hits me hard. I don't do death well. And maybe this wasn't the best time to do a whisper, but I felt like talking, and my wife is taking a little nap before work. Well, that's another thing that's got me down a little bit. I mean, I don't know why it's really got me down, but they are seem to be making a big deal about this pregnancy. My wife was born a few months premature, so she had an underdeveloped heart. And she still has a heart murmur. Okay, she also, as I said, has had a few diabetes tests that have come up a little high. It's not unheard of to have high blood sugar while pregnant, but when she was pregnant with my son, yeah, same thing, but the second one came back okay. Well, this time around it's staying a little high. Not outrageously high, but she's has to check her blood a lot. But right now they're just having her count carbs. But if it's still high next week, they're going to have her start taking medicine, since her mother and grandfather take medicine for diabetes. But the other thing is that she had to go see an OB specialist, and she's already had 3 ultrasounds. Generally, you only have 1, maybe 2, unless there's a problem, but I don't really believe there's a problem. But they said her heart was okay, but now they're considering sending us to Des Moines, the capital of Iowa, to the children's clinic there, hospital there, and check the baby's heart. Although I'm not thinking that this heart thing is a genetic thing. I think it was because she was so premature, but I don't know. We have a different doctor for this baby than we did for my son, and I don't know if they're just being alarmists or what, but yeah, so I don't know. Everything seems to be crashing down at once, and it may seem small to some people, but and with the stress of different things, it's been really hard for me to sell myself with looking for a job, and I know I can't be putting this off for much longer. I mean, I've made some effort, but not enough. And there's some controversy going on in my wife's workplace right now. And I'm sorry if this whole whisper is going to be negative, but last week, on Wednesday, my wife got called in, and she works at the hospital in the housekeeping department, but her job supposed to be primarily just taking care of the floors, but she fills in and covers when people aren't there or they're short-handed because of people quit or whatever. So she actually leaves the hospital and goes to the different hospital buildings around town when needed. But there's a clinic that one woman cleans, and she goes out and helps her. Well, she's done this for many years, long before her immediate boss had come along. And a few weeks ago, the boss said that someone had told her that she was leaving to go help this other lady. She said, yeah, that's fine, but just write it on your paperwork. So she did that for another week. And got called into the big boss and the human resources person and her immediate boss and had a meeting. They said to her that only one person was paid to clean the clinic, and that she was supposed to be in the main hospital, and that this was considered stealing because she was being paid to clean the main hospital, not the buildings. She said directly in front of her immediate boss that you told me to do this, that it was okay, and she out and out lied and said she didn't do it, or didn't tell her to do that. Well, another girl had a meeting separate from my wife, exact same thing, told her the same thing. The boss lied with her too, but they both said it. But anyway, they put it before them that they were either going to be wrote up or fired, and they needed a few days to think about it. Which, in itself, is ridiculous. You know, what do you got to think about? My wife and the other girl didn't deny it. They didn't lie and say they didn't go. You think that would be all they would need? As long as they told the truth, and okay, you're getting wrote up this time, but it's clear that we don't want you doing this, so don't do it again, or you're fired. Well, nothing happened the rest of the week. And here it is Monday, and she's still a little worried. It's looming over her head. I don't think that if they were going to fire her, they would die by now, but anything's possible. Iowa is I'm not going to be able to think of the word, but, at-will state for work employment, meaning that most people don't have contracts. You can quit for any reason. You basically can be fired for any reason as long as it's not an illegal fire, like based on discrimination. But, looming, the potential of being fired over someone's head is not good for productivity. But the funny thing was that the immediate boss called in the next day. My son came in, so I had to pause it, but I think I left off at her immediate boss called in the next day because her reasoning was that she could not handle confrontation and she was too stressed to work. As a boss, it's your job to confront people. And I think that maybe she got talked to by the bigger boss because two people said she was lying. Two people told the same stories in separate meetings. But then, when she came back the next day after that, she put my wife and this girl together in a separate area outside of what they were supposed to be doing. So basically, they told her not to do it, but it's okay for them to do it. And it's just crazy. It's just the policies and politics of this hospital. Doesn't make the best work environment. But I'm out of time, and thanks for listening because I need someone to talk to and get some of my stress out and try to relieve it. But as always, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you real soon. Goodbye.